What's up there, YouTube? It's been a minute. It's been a real busy summer, and I haven't gotten much footage up to the channel. But it's October 25th, and that means here in New York, it's the first day of trapping season. So sort of the reason that I started the YouTube channel was trapping, and it's most of the footage that I had up there. And so I hope to get a lot more of that this year. I'm not going to go crazy this week. As you can see, I'm in a t-shirt. It's been in the 70s the past few days, so not your typical fall weather, but it's supposed to cool down tonight and rain tomorrow, and we're going to have some cool nights. So the raccoons should be moving. I don't know if the fur's quite prime yet, but we'll find out here. And yeah, so we're gonna set a few dog proofs and maybe a 1.5 or 2. Nothing crazy. I just got a couple early season spots. As you can see behind me, there's a pond here, and I thought this would be a great place to start my trapping season and my trapping videos for YouTube, because it's a great example, and I'll show you in a minute here, of set on sign. And I can almost guarantee I'm gonna make a catch first or second night back here. So I'm going to set up probably a double, 2 dog proofs, but I'll show you the spot, and there is definitely raccoon activity here. All right, so let me grab the camera and we'll go over and check out the spot. All right, so as you guys can see, this here is a pond back in the woods, and there's a creek about 100 yards that way on the other side of this pond that the outflow of the pond eventually goes into. So big cattail area behind that brush, and they come up out of the creek bottom and hit this pond here. And also up this way, up the top of this hill, it's all brush, but just up the top of this hill there's a cornfield that still has standing corn. There's picked corn up the other side of this little 20-30 acre block of woods here. But you see this, it's been really dry this year, and this pond is low, so you can see this spit of land that goes across here. So I can kind of walk around this edge. It's a little muddy here yet, but I walked over here yesterday, so I don't know how well the camera will pick it up, but both the deer and the raccoons have a cow path. You can see it coming out of here. You know, we're gonna set one right over here, and probably another one maybe in here. I'm going to try and keep them up out of the mud is the goal here. All right, so here we can see there's my dog proof right there, my hammer and stake pounder and my bait bucket. And if I back up just a little bit, you can kind of see there's a trail coming out of the woods here. It's probably a small game trail. And then there's this path beat down right over here to the other side of this tall grass to this pond. And this trail goes up behind me along the edge here. So there's my dog proof right at the intersection of these trails. And again, I set it up this high trying to keep them out of the mud, because it's no fun washing a mud ball coon. But the other reason is we're getting a bunch of rain tomorrow, supposedly, and we got to be careful of the water coming up and putting our sets underwater. So this should be plenty high and dry, and we'll see what happens. And now we're going to take our stuff here and just go right over here. I'm going to show you where I want to set this other one. It's not too wet to get across here. So this trail comes right up along here. Coons go right along the edge. So we can probably set another one right around in here. Okay, so I had to do something a little bit different here. I tried to ground stake it with a wolf fang like I did the other one, and this ground is too soft. I could pull it right out. So it's always good to test your anchors, your ground anchors, if you're using them. So I took a page from Stu at Coon Creek Outdoors, and I used a fence staple, and I have a bunch of these dog proofs set up with just a cable with a double-ended loop on it, and just fence stapled it to, there's this box elder branch that got taken down over there, just grabbed that, and it's doing a couple of things. One, I had a little bit of brush right here, and so I'm making a diversion. So if they come across this way, and they don't want to go down that way, they're going to hit this and come right up to here. And likewise, if they come around this way and they want to come towards me here, towards the pond, they're going to run right into that dog proof. So hopefully that is a big enough toggle to not let them get too far into the water. But we'll see. Like I said, there's a lot of traffic at this spot. This path right over here is all tore up. You can see that opening over there. The other trap is just on the other side of that tall grass. So those are my first 2 sets of the 2022 season. And we're going to ride around on the four-wheeler. That makes trapping a lot easier. But we'll see if we can bang in 1 or 2 more sets before we're done here. All right. Haha. Look at that. It is October 26th, and yesterday was opening day of trapping season. We set our traps out here yesterday, and nice dry coon. He couldn't drag that toggle away. Pretty nice fur on him. And yeah, he's not wanting much to do with me. Yeah. Hey buddy. Not real big. Probably a young one, but part of the reason that we're doing this is not just for the fur, especially with these raccoons. Turkeys, ground nesting birds. You know, I've been into bird hunting this year, so your grouse, things like that. These critters raid nests. Foxes get them too, but you know, your raccoons, possums, skunks, those are your nest raiders. So we got this guy. He's chewed up that toggle pretty good. Let's go over here and check the other trap here. He'll be all right for a minute. I don't fall down in the mud here. So I had 2 traps set here, so the other one is untouched. Right here. Still got bait in it, so we'll leave that one. Get this guy taken care of. And yeah, first one of the year. I knew we would have a catch here. You know, I knew we would have a catch here, so the amount of traffic here, and it's only going to be better now. So we'll get this guy taken care of. And all right, so there's our first raccoon of the year. Not the biggest I've caught, but you know, that's how she goes sometimes. So we've got the toggle worked pretty good. You know, I mentioned Stu from Coon Creek Outdoors, you know, with the fence staple and cutting the toggle like that. He's the one that I sort of learned that from. You know, I learned a lot of what I know about trapping from his channel. So if you're looking for a how-to channel, I can't recommend his enough. But he likes to make them so they get out of the area. I didn't want it to be able to get down in the water and get muddy, and it stayed pretty dry. It's pretty clean. So, you know, I cut a little bit bigger toggle, and also that wasn't a very big raccoon, so it didn't wasn't able to drag it very far, kind of tangled himself up. So we'll reset. Got trap all reset again, and just for bait here, it's just a mixture of cheap cat food and a cheap Lucky Charms type knockoff cereal with marshmallows in it. And I just take that and mix them together in a container and poured a little cheap maple syrup over it. Alright, make sure you get them down below the trigger there. And that's it. There's our set. Yeah, so this bait I used last year a little bit. Works pretty good. The maple syrup gets kind of sticky in the cold and it starts to clump up. So I've got a new one that I'm going to try this year, but I haven't got all the ingredients for it yet. So there is that. And the other trap was empty, as I noted. I would not be surprised to catch a double here, or would I be surprised to catch another one tomorrow, you know, on the next check. Maybe in the other trap, maybe in this one. But they're definitely coming to this water. Even the creek that this feeds back this way is pretty dry this year. You know, I went out yesterday. I had about an hour just to set some traps out here, and I had been keeping an eye on this spot. I know they've been hitting it all summer long, so I knew I was going to set some here. And just, you know, some of the other spots I had in mind just didn't have the sign. And that's one of the greatest revelations I've had in trapping is set on sign. And there's the result of that, set on sign. All right. Well, we are back with you here on our third check at this spot. And I didn't get film of the one yesterday. We did make a catch yesterday. Nice big coon that's hanging in the shed now on a board. And fourth check here, and we got this guy. A little bit muddy. He definitely dragged the toggle there a little bit. But we got him, or her, I'm not sure. But yeah, we'll see if there's another one over here. Nope, and this one's empty. So this one here made a catch yesterday. You can kind of see the circle here. Made a catch yesterday. Still got plenty of bait in there. It's been odd at this spot. I haven't had a double. It's only been, you know, one trap or the other. That was first night, and then the second check was empty. Third check, I caught one here. Fourth check, third coon. First week of trapping in New York State, I've got 2 traps out. So, get this muddy guy. Oh, he's upset. Aren't you, boss? Yeah. No more getting wood duck eggs for you, that's for sure. All right, we'll get him taken care of and get back with you. All right, let him expire there. Now we can get him out of that trap. He's muddy as heck. Yeah, I think it is another male. All right. This is Halloween. Well, the day before Halloween, October 30th. It'll be my 5th check here. And this is a new trap that I actually set yesterday. And see what we got here. Nice big old dry coon. So he's stapled off to this sumac root here. And basically what I had here is I went out yesterday looking for some other places to set traps, and there's a creek right down in here, and I walked along the creek because it's been pretty dry this year, so I figured the raccoons are going to be wanting to be near water. And right down this hill there's a couple big old trees that uprooted, and one of them for sure I think has dens underneath the root ball, and the other one they're walking across the creek. So there was a ton of raccoon scat on that log going across the creek, and one of them was pretty fresh and had a lot of corn in it. You can see we're in a cornfield here on the edge of the corn. And so I climbed up out of the creek bottom, and the reason I did that is just ease of access. I can drive my four-wheeler right up to where I set this trap rather than having to take all my stuff and hike down into this creek bottom. Came up here and just looked for areas where there was trails coming up, and there was a couple small game trails coming up. It's all thick brambles, and it's directly in line with those two down trees. So I threw a dog proof in, and it worked. I stapled it off to that root because I lost my stake driver yesterday. I spent half an hour driving around looking for it, but so I couldn't ground stake the dog proof. I wanted it to be more over here, and it ended up being a little bit over here, but the result is the same. A nice nice dry raccoon. So this is raccoon number 4 in 5 check days. So we are rocking and rolling here on the raccoons early season. And you know, this is, raccoons aren't, the fur isn't worth much right now. So the main reason that I'm doing this is predator control. There is an overabundance of raccoons in the area. They've been really hard on wood ducks. Usually see mallards on this creek, and I haven't this year. You know, they're hard on ground nesting birds, turkeys. The turkey numbers have been down. So trying to get rid of some of these so-called nest raiding predators. So get them taken care of, and I'll show you the remake. So there's the dog proof. You said it was just kind of stuck right here. I wanted it to be a little bit more over here, as far as that's where the trail was coming up, but you know, this guy found it, so we'll reset and rebait here. Just stick it back in the ground. I did kind of cover up the chain a little bit. I just didn't want them messing with that before they find the dog proof. So right there, we'll get some bait. I just, you know, like enough to cover the trigger in there. And if a little spills on the ground around the trap, that's okay too. It'll get their attention. The other thing that I did on this one is I added a little bit of Caven's Moonshine, which is a raccoon food lure, and all I did with that is just kind of drizzle a little on the edge of the trap there, and we're good to go. That's why I love these dog proofs. They're so fast, easy to set, you know, and if you're just getting into trapping, I think one of the easier animals to trap is raccoons with these dog proofs. You know, it's pretty easy way to get some sort of instant gratification in the sport.